Well, hello everybody, Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. Today we're going to talk about how you need to watch out for falling premiums. Right, spot price, let's not even talk about that today. Let's talk about the premiums just falling. That's good news, I think, for me. It makes it a lot easier for me to average the cost of my stack, In the past, and I mean, years and years ago, right? The premiums were just kind of low on regular bullion items, right? You typically paid $1 or $2 over for premiums on something like this or that or whatever. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. Gold, obviously, always a little bit more. But over the past couple years, that premium has been annoying. It has been so crazy. Sometimes you're paying $4 over for stuff like this or more, right? I mean, some of us have paid, $6 over for generic silver. That's how the prices were. Now, depending on where you went, it was okay because when you sold back silver, you were getting some of that premium back because those places needed silver bad. So they were willing to pay, $3, $4 over spot. So they were willing to give you some of your premium back. And that felt good. It felt like your silver was worth more for sure. But now prices of silver have just been kind of steady, a little ups and downs for sure. The downs always freak everybody out because they're like, there it goes, going down to 15. Here it comes. And then, it slowly teeters back up before it hits anything below 20, it seems like lately. But people freak out then. But the premiums have just really, really come down pretty good. And I see a lot of companies, they are offering specials for like $2 over spot. Local places sometimes are even less than that for their premiums. I've been getting some silver for $1.25, $1.50 over spot because people are not having problems getting silver right now. It's not an issue. I mean, they can get all they need. And every time I go into a shop or I go online, I don't really see the normal bullion products being sold out. They're everywhere. And like I said, I think that's good for us. I don't have to try to average my stack all weird and try to say, well, this piece was, technically $30 because of the $6 premium on it. And this piece over here, I got that 10 years ago, so that was only $1 over. It's so much more simplistic. And I wish we could focus more on just the spot price, which I know. It's a necessary evil, right? We don't like the spot price. We think that physical silver and the spot price should be more separated. And people were thinking that was happening, right? People were like, oh, that's what's going on. No, it was just the premiums. The premiums were just out of whack, and it made people believe that the two were separating. In fact, I got many comments talking about how people were saying, yep, here it is, the separation's occurring. I wish it was true, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely do, but it was just out of whack premiums. But we're getting back to normal now, and it feels good. So what should I do, right? That's kind of the question. I think people see that premium drop that have been stacking only like the last few years, and they're like, oh, it's bad news out there. Like, things are coming down. It's the same as always. There's ups and downs, and this is just one of those moments where things are trying to equalize and make sense, and you just have to stay true. I mean, precious metals are one of those things where you shouldn't put all your eggs into that basket. Never, ever, right? There's a lot of investments that you can make great money on, right? And you could, sit there and be like, I'm going to leave a comment and I'm going to tell Spegtacular or the world what you can make money on better than precious metals. And nobody really should be able to argue that point, right? I think most people now realize after the Reddit crew and the, Silver to the Moon crew that tried to squeeze this stuff failed. I think that most people can see that it's not going to $1,000 an ounce, in our lifetime. It's not that kind of thing. But I think that over a long period of time, it'll definitely do well, and it'll start trying to, I don't want to say match, but it'll try to help your dollar, fight inflation, which has been crazy. Now let me bring you over to the computer here real quick, because I found this to be absolutely interesting, and it goes along with what we're talking about. So now Moody's just downgraded the U.S. credit outlook to negative, and the reason was polarization. Now it's important to truly grasp that the world is afraid not of the size of the national debt, which is crazy, but of the lack of plan or the willingness by either party to even address it. That ticker, if you've seen it, just keeps on going up and up and up and up and up. It scares the living daylights out of most investors, and that means for the next 5 to 7 years, at the very least, the dollar will probably lose, 4 to 5% per year, which will wipe out about 30% of your savings after tax. Now, that's a heck of a debasement, and it means the mining stocks are about to finally go parabolic and a spike. And our good friends over here, I'll show you this, at wealthresearchgroup.com, they've put together a report, and it's an exclusive one, I'll show you right here, detailing exactly why, what, and when. And you can actually download that for free right there at wealthresearchgroup.com/boom. And I'll definitely have a link down in the description for that. People often have been picking lately on silver and gold because it hasn't been a hedge for inflation for these absolutely wild times that we've been in the last few years, with inflation just going up and up and up, and wages pretty much just staying kind of flat, not really even matching. If you get a raise, you're really not matching what's going on out there with inflation. I mentioned this a few times. I've seen this can of peanuts, right? It's a can of boiled peanuts. I know some of you guys are like, boiled peanuts, what is that? That sounds disgusting. They are awesome. I don't know if it's like a southern thing. I love boiled peanuts so much. Anyways, this can of boiled peanuts. Only like maybe 5 years ago, this can of boiled peanuts was $1, right? Not even like $1.07, whatever. It was $1 even for a can of boiled peanuts. And I've watched this thing significantly increase, right? Now my can of boiled peanuts is close to $3 for the same can of boiled peanuts after just a few years. And so that's just one example of something I've been really, really watching closely. And I suggest you do the same thing. Find some product in a local grocery store and focus on it. And remember what the price is today. And then in a couple of years, just keep on following the track of that product and see where it goes. But I mean, that's a huge increase from $1 to a little bit over $3 a can in a short amount of time. That's just one thing. That's just one thing. Everything else has been doing the same thing. And it's so, how can silver and gold catch up to something so crazy, right? How can it fight against something so crazy? Hasn't really been doing it, but nothing really, really has. There's definitely been some things that have been good investments, like I mentioned. A lot of the people say, hey, look what happened to Bitcoin, in the last, month, right? It gained about $10,000. Most people don't have $25,000 that they put into Bitcoin. They have, $1,000 maybe that they put into Bitcoin. So they increase their profits by $300-something, So they feel like, wow, look what I did. I gained $300. And that's the truth, right? Most people haven't put the, enough money in there to actually equal one Bitcoin. So when that giant increase comes, it's really just for show for most people, right? Because most people are not going to do that. Even the people out there that are like, let me show you just how much I love Bitcoin and let me give you the reasons. They're not big into it, right? They're in there somewhere, but they're not big. And this is coming from somebody who actually owns some Bitcoin. I don't own a whole one. I don't got a whole one. I got some. But, then I always go back to, but it dropped $60,000. So those people that were in there at 60, they got hit hard. And then there's that argument of, but you bought at a high. Well, nobody knows what's going to come, right? Everybody's just trying to invest in something they believe in. And so, no, I'm not trying to hate on the Bitcoiners or anybody out there. I made a lot of money on Dogecoin. People were hating on me for that. I get it, right? Everybody wants to hate on somebody else for their investment. It's your investment. Do what you think is right, of course. But I'm just trying to say that nobody can know what to expect. And nobody could expect that inflation went so crazy and that this little precious metal right here couldn't, basically, hedge itself against such a crazy time we're in. It is what it is. But I still believe that over a long term, this kind of stuff right here, gold, silver, this is going to be a really, really good safe haven, a really, really good bet for a long-term hold. And, like I've always practiced and preached on this channel, it's a long-term hold, meaning like I plan to die with a portion of this stuff for sure. Is it going to be 100%? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I get some kind of crazy illness, coming up in my life, and I'm going to have to sell some of this stuff in order to take care of it. Maybe I'm like, hey, I really want to pay this big expense off, and I'm going to need some of this stuff, and it's better for me just to go ahead and pay this stuff off, so I'm not hitting, the interest wagon, for X amount of time and paying all that. I'd just rather pay it off with some of the, wealth that I've accumulated. Who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows what the future holds, right? But the idea is to keep it and pass it on to another generation. And I do have kids, so that would be my goal. Anyways, what I really, really wanted to say in this whole rant is now is a great time to go ahead and get some precious metals, because those premiums have been coming down. And I'm just walking into a store. I don't even have to really fight the storekeeper anymore. I don't have to worry about what I'm buying online as much anymore. I see the stuff that's, $1 or $2 over spot, and I'm just like, yep, I need 10 of those. Yep, I need 5 of those. It is not a problem anymore, and it feels good. Silver Eagles, still a little higher. Some years back, if you remember, Silver Eagles were just, $2 over spot price, and people were complaining then. They're like, why would I buy a Silver Eagle when I can get a regular generic round for just 50 cents to $1 over spot? Why would I pay $2 over spot for a American Silver Eagle? In hindsight, American Silver Eagles did really, really well with premiums. If you had stacked a bunch of those around that time when it was only $2 over spot, you were able to really, really capitalize when you were getting like $15 or so as you sold them, depending on where you went over spot. Crazy times for sure. I feel bad for some of the people out there that, during those big ups, that they really spent way too much. And that was a lot. I think if you saw it, if you paid attention to what was going on during that silver squeeze movement, the Reddit crew was trying to push when GameStop did so well, and they're like, hey, we was able to squeeze GameStop. Let's go ahead and squeeze silver too. So when that occurred, you kept on seeing these pictures of people that had their safes filled with 100-ounce bars to the brim. And they were just taking all their wealth from whatever investment they had, and they were putting it straight into precious metals only. Don't do that. Please don't be that person, right? That's somebody who isn't doing their research, who just trusted somebody else, who just wanted to follow the crowd, and now realizes they made a huge mistake as an investment. Do it little by little over a long period of time. Don't put all your eggs into this basket, or any basket for that matter. Put your eggs into multiple baskets for sure, with some of those eggs being in the silver and gold basket, and over a long term, you're going to be A-okay. It makes sense. Don't put all your eggs in it. It's an old saying, man. There's a reason why these sayings are old, and they keep on going on generation after generation, because they make sense and it's the right way to do things. Ay. These kids today, I swear. All right. I got to go for now. I appreciate you for just, staring at my wonderful silver and gold. I love playing with this stuff so much. It's just so much fun. I love physical precious metals, as you can tell. That just makes my day. And I'm just going to keep on going, right? Keep on swimming. Keep on swimming. I know that it seems a little weird for some new stackers out there that might see these prices coming down in the premiums, and you might get that confused thinking that, okay, prices are dropping way too low. But now's a great time to accumulate and continue holding, and plan for this to be something that you just hold for a very long time. And hold it, because that's what we need to do, right? We need to hold our precious metals. I know, there's plastic on this one. How can I hold it, you ask? I'm still technically holding it, guys and girls. Come on now. All right, I gotta go. Appreciate you for watching. Spegtacular is out. Well, hello everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. You know, when I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.